October 20th was when I started. October 20th is when I started. And so it's been 4 events since then. And now I'm going to do one every single month and just bring in incredible talent. First, starting off in Vegas, and in the future, outside of Vegas, near Vegas, like California and all those states around us. And then hopefully in the far, far future, you know, bring people from Ohio, the East Coast.
Sure.
You know.
Because like something else that I noticed when I talk about the podcast a lot, and this is kind of like running themes a little bit, but at least in Cincinnati, what we see a lot of is industry people attending shows. That there's hardly a core fan base of people that do support people, you know, whether or not that's buying their album, buying their merch, but that, as it turns out for us, the majority of shows, we're all industry people. We're all networking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's trying to talk business. That what relationship and what role do fans play in Vegas that compared to what you've seen in Cincinnati?
Man, it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I don't really know how to explain it, but I feel like you could tell me if I'm wrong or not about Cincinnati too. But it's kind of like the same crowd, the same like fan base that's continues to come around. And but the most important thing is to bring a variety of artists. That's the only time where people get exposed to new people and new fans get created, is to bring a variety of artists or DJs down. Not really the people that always run together. Because the people that always run together are going to bring the same people to that thing. Unless, you know, someone randomly is walking across the bar, hears the music, and just goes in.
How do you think social media and the internet in general has played a role in the decrease of fans? Because it's like, why would you spend like 2 hours getting ready, you know, paying for an Uber, paying for, you know, in some cases $100 worth of bottles, when you could just watch a recap video? You know, to fans,
there's difference between
media.
I mean,
you know? Like, how do you think that has affected this industry? You know, and how do you think it's going to continue to affect the industry?
Social media is...
That why would you come to a show? Like, answer that. Like, why would you come to a show?
For the experience, for the live experience, for the people you might meet, for the realizations that you might have.
Sure. But do you think people in the future, that if we're really just witnessing people that from the industry that are coming, and that fans really, you know, aren't showing up unless it's, you know, a big live event with, you know, EDC, 100,000 people show up. Right. That if you're going to be spending $1,000, $1,200 for a spot at Electronic Forest, or, you know, some larger scale event, why would you spend the entire year going to, you know, smaller shows and maybe not getting as good of an experience, and you would save money and end up putting money into, you know, bigger events? Isn't that basically what fans are doing? Like, let's talk about the business side of this, you know, like in the future, like how do you think people are going to, you know, react?
Sorry. I got it. Okay.
I mean, that's a hard question.
No, but you know, check this out. Check this out.
You know what I'm saying?
No. You're right. Check this out.
Like, this isn't a normal podcast.
But let me tell you this. What you told me brought me this idea, virtual reality. You know, can that be the future of concerts? Is that where this is all going to go to eventually?
Yeah, and it's not like you would have to then lift up your phone and you could then just experience it. It's on video for you. You know, you could look at it at any time.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you think virtual reality could play a role?
Virtual reality will definitely play a role. Because, dude, let me tell you, I don't know.
This might be deep.
This might be deep. But honestly, like, this is like what I see in the future for me. Like, as there's two sides of me. There's the artist, okay, and then there's the record producer. The artist is the experience creator. The record producer is the guy who's commercial and has more structure. We'll talk about that later. So the artist, I envision people coming in. And I've had ideas for this, but it's never really executed due to circumstances. But I've always envisioned a full sensory experience for people, and virtual reality can provide that for people. The idea that I've had is people sitting in a chair and it's a dome with me playing in the middle, but they're not really seeing me. I'm playing the music, but they're kind of looking up at the sky, and there's a storyline that is unfolding as they're experiencing the story that I'm telling through my music, through my words. And so virtual reality could be an augmentation of that, of people just hearing the music live. And of course, I improvise a lot on the Sand Tour, and hearing the music live and going through, the experience, going through whatever it is that I'm trying to convey while having a full sensory experience. So that's it. That's my thing on that's kind of like when you told me like
future of music.
Yeah, no, when you told me like about social media, like people watching it on their phones and stuff, like is that really a bad thing? Like that's
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just talking about reality.
No, that's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying it's a bad thing either, but that's what it brought me to. I was like, oh, yo, virtual reality, that could really be like what people want next instead of going to the shows. Like there are people who can go to the shows, and then there could be a virtual reality based off of the show.